So this is Thyme, and this is our first puppy. And so I'm going to talk through what we're looking for during the evaluations and why we're doing what we're doing. So first of all, this evaluation station is set up in a room that the puppies aren't familiar with. They've never been allowed to play in here. They have been carried through this room to get to certain outdoor areas, so this is an unfamiliar room, and these are unfamiliar objects. The only thing familiar in the room is me. So we're putting them in a new environment to see how they handle the stress of it. So I'm sitting here because I want to gauge the puppy's assertiveness towards humans, and that means how much the puppy wants to get in your space. I think the easiest way to think of it is how much the puppy's going to jump on you and your children. So you could see when Dawn put her down into the pen, she immediately approached me, got in my lap, and then went to play. So I'm going to say that she is at least moderately assertive, if not highly. That's a behavior that will always be there. It doesn't change with age. It only changes with training. So it's 100% possible to teach your assertive puppy not to jump on you. But if you have little kids and you have an assertive puppy, then that makes it harder. So I'm laughing because, see, she's jumping on me and showing me her toy. She's so proud of it, yeah. So this is a highly assertive puppy. She's just getting in my lap, right? With her toy. Thank you. Okay, so the next thing we can already see about this puppy is that she has a high prey drive. So what's that mean? I mean, a high prey drive just means that they'll chase stuff, and once they catch it, they'll shake their head. And how does that translate to real life? I mean, it can translate a few different ways. I mean, one is that this puppy loves to play with toys, and I could see her entertaining herself with her toys. Like, she doesn't even necessarily need her human to engage her with the toys, which is a great quality because they can keep themselves busy. But also, if you have cats or other small animals around, that might be a problem. So if the puppy has high prey drive and has a high reaction to movement, which we'll go over later, that's going to be a recipe for disaster if you have cats, unless you want to do a lot of training. So if you have cats or small kids, you're going to want to avoid the puppies that have high prey drive paired with high reaction to movement, which we will test later. Okay, so let's see what this puppy likes to do. We already know she likes soft toys that crinkle. Come here, puppy. Let's see if she wants to chase a ball. All right, first she's giving us the dog assertiveness test. So we put this dog in, this stuffed dog in here that doesn't look like any of our other dogs to see what the puppy does as far as approaching it. So puppies either like other dogs, are neutral with other dogs, meaning they can take them or leave them, or they don't like other dogs. That quality will never change in a puppy. It is what it is. It can be molded and shaped a little bit, but if a puppy likes dogs now, it will always like dogs, unless it has a terrible experience with another dog before it turns 16 weeks. If a puppy is neutral, they'll stay neutral. You can shape neutral behavior a little bit to be positive, but the puppy's always going to be neutral with other dogs. So if you have other dogs in the home, you either want a neutral puppy or an assertive puppy, with assertive in the dog sense, not the human sense. I hope that I said that right. So if you have other dogs in the home, you want a puppy that's either neutral or dog assertive, meaning dog friendly. You do not want a dog that does not like other dogs. And we don't get those puppies very often. I think in 20-some years of breeding, I can only remember 3 puppies that do not like other dogs. But it happens every now and then. So this puppy approached that dog from behind, licked its tail, chewed on it. So we're going to go with dog friendly for this puppy. She also likes to play tug. I want to see if she wants to chase a ball. She's chasing her tug toy. bringing it back to me already, which is awesome because it kind of shows that she wants to engage her toys with me, which is fun. It's fun. So if you like a trainable puppy that wants to play, this might be a good puppy. Okay, we're gonna see if she chases the ball. She's like, She's not as interested in the ball as she is the other things, but sometimes if you give it more than one chance, yeah, there she goes, chasing her ball. I'm using her little paws, it's so cute. She's not bringing the ball back to me, but that's pretty normal. They don't often bring the ball back at this age. Every now and then they do, but they usually just play with it and then pick it up. And then if you throw it again, they'll go get it. And you can teach them to bring it back to you if you like to play ball. Come here, puppy. Come here, puppy. And she's kind of, Let's see how assertive she is jumping on me. And something else to mention about this is like, we don't teach these puppies not to do this until after our temperament testing is done. I don't know what you smell. We intentionally do not teach them to not jump on us because we want to know if they're going to do this or not. So we're testing all these puppies today and we'll have our results. So actually tomorrow we will start teaching them not to jump on us. But we don't do that until now because we want them to be themselves during the test. We don't want them to act like a trained puppy because we would never be able to know what they were really like if we trained them all at this age. So we'll start training them tomorrow not to jump and not to chew on our clothes and stuff like that. So, but today they're gonna all be like that probably. Come here. So another thing that we're looking for during the entirety of the test is human focus. And human focus is like just what it sounds like. How much attention do they pay to the person when they have all these other things to do? So she's got toys and balls and other things to do, and how much attention is she paying to me? So I would say that she's pretty human focused. She keeps returning to me. She'll go play with her toys for a few minutes, but then she comes right back. So I'll have to score that at the end of the test based on the totality of the test. But right now, it's pretty obvious that she is at least moderately human focused. And I love how relaxed she is in the new environment with new things. I haven't seen any sign of nerves yet, so that's good. So we're going to start asking her to do some stuff now. And this is going to help us know her motivation level. All right, so I didn't have to ask her, she just did it. Are you just offering me behaviors? That's a good girl. So I love that she's not scared to jump on this. It's a new item, she's never seen it before. Although she's jumped and climbed on other things, she's never seen this particular one. So that's excellent. So now I'm going to ask her to walk on it on purpose and see what happens. Come on, puppy. Come on. Ouch. Come on. Planted my legs because that's fun. Come on, good girl. There, good girl. That's so good. Now come down. Come down. Come on. 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 Come here. Good girl. Come here. Good girl. Good girl. So we're just looking to see if these puppies want to follow directions and want to do what we're asking them to do, even though we're asking them to do something new and maybe scary. So far so good, she does. Now I'm going to get the wobble board out and try the same thing. They've never been on a wobble board at all yet. Let me come here. All right. Again, being assertive. Yeah. Okay. So come here. Come on. Come on the board. Good girl. If you can't get their attention on something at this age, it's totally normal. Just have to keep trying. Or you have to get something that you know they love and ask them with that. There, good girl. Now she's got, oh good, she's got 4 feet up. Good girl. Good job. That was super good. Yeah, she did good and she knows it. So that was good. She got all 4 feet up on the wobble board and wasn't really scared. Let it move around. And then she showed me how good she did by jumping on my face, of course. You're hilarious. All right, so we're gonna do sight sensitivity test first. So for those, we're gonna pop an umbrella open in her face and shake a tarp above my head and see what happens. So I keep my umbrella out of reach of the puppies because they'll shred it. All right, so this is something that she's never seen before. And I'm not really trying to scare her. I'm just trying to do something unexpected and see what happens. Okay, so we had a startle, normal startle, immediately recovered and went towards the object. So I would say that she has no sight sensitivity or very low sight sensitivity. Sight sensitivity is interesting because it's a flexible trait, meaning you can train it. So like what we'll do is we'll startle them on purpose and then help them recover and teach them that they can be confident about being startled by new things. And that can happen up until they're 16 weeks old. So same thing with this. We're going to go up high with it. It's an item that she's never seen before, and it's going to be up high in the air, which is a little different. She's not paying attention to it, so I'm going to kind of wait until she does. There. I would say she doesn't love it, but she's not panicking. And good girl. Okay, so sound sensitivity is next, and I'm going to use my Fisher-Price popper duck to make a funny noise, but I don't want her to see it happening. I only want her to hear it. So I'm going to distract her with something like a toy, and then I'm going to pop it behind her back. Maybe. Come on, get your toy. Get your toy. Nope. This is the hardest part, is getting their attention on something else and then popping the popper. Here. So I would say she has no or low sound sensitivity. When she heard it, she turned to look at it, but she immediately started approaching it, so that's what we're looking for. So that's good girl. So sound sensitivity is also a flexible trait. That means that if they are sound sensitive now, that we can shape that behavior if we work on it before 16 weeks old and make them less or not sound sensitive at all. It also means if they have a bad experience with a new sound, that it can shape that behavior to be worse. So sight and sound sensitivity are super important between 8 and 16 weeks when you take your puppy home. And we can talk more about that later, depending on the puppy. Okay, let's do the touch tolerance test. So we're going to pick the puppy up and hold it up and run through the 10-step puppy handling exercise just to see what they do. So, see if I can remember all 10. We're going to cover their eyes, touch their nose, open their mouth, touch their ears inside, and a little tugging. Go around the neck, rub the belly, paws and legs, and push on the paw pads. And then we're going to go backwards with our hand, up their back, and pull on their little nubby tails if we can find them. Their little nubby tails, yeah. So I would say she loves being touched and she tolerates all that. Some of that is inappropriate touching for puppies, and you wouldn't want to touch puppies like that unless you knew they were okay with it. But we're doing that for a reason. So if you have small kids, they always touch puppies inappropriately, so high touch tolerance is really important. If you have small kids, or any kids that touch puppies inappropriately. Good girl. But I would say she loves that, so. Good girl. Let's see. Okay, next is the temper tantrum. We're gonna see. So, I'm gonna clear some things out of the way when I do this so I have room to flop around on the floor. This is how we gauge their tenderheartedness. Tenderheartedness just means how much do intense emotions affect your puppy. So it doesn't really have anything to do with how cuddly or snuggly or lovable they are, which is what some people think. It just has to do with how their humans' intense emotions affect them. So if you have little kids or any family member that has high anxiety or throws temper tantrums or any intense emotions like that on a regular basis, you do not want a tender-hearted puppy. The reason is because the puppy will feed off of those emotions all the time, and over time it will be draining for the puppy. If you're looking for a service dog or an emotional support dog or a therapy dog, you do not want a tender-hearted dog normally. Because again, if you have intense emotions and your puppy feeds off of those or feels responsible for them, then over time it will break down the puppy and they will fail at their job if they're going to be a working dog. So this is like super important for people who want an emotional service animal or therapy dog, service dog, facility dog, or anybody that has little kids. So we're going to have the temper tantrum and then we're going to watch what the puppy does. Okay, so it's kind of hard for me to see when I'm rolling around on the floor exactly what their reaction is, so I'll have to watch the video back before I score it. But I know she approached me, but then she ran away from me, and I'm not sure if she ran away from me because I was making her nervous or if she was just circling me to see if I was okay. If they run up to me and they're playing and trying to get me out of the temper tantrum, then that's a not tender-hearted score. But if they're concerned about me, or I'm scaring them with the temper tantrum, then that is going to be on some level of the tender-hearted score, which we can go over in detail when I score this puppy. So right now I'm not sure because I couldn't see what you were doing. So let's see. So overall, as far as scoring, I would say that she is either medium or high on the human focus, and I would also mark her medium to high on confidence and nerve strength. I mean, confidence is like exactly what it sounds like. It's how did she handle the new stuff, how did she handle the test. I didn't see her get stressed at all. She startled once during the sight sensitivity, but she immediately recovered and it didn't stress her out. Just the startle for 1 second and then, good girl. And then going back to the item that scared her. So that's excellent for a 7.5-week-old puppy. So I would probably mark her high confidence and high nerve strength, high touch tolerance. I would also mark her high prey drive. Oh, I gotta run around and see if she chases me. Not done yet. So I'm gonna just kind of walk around and then kind of get faster and faster if I can and see what happens to her as I do that. So well, not all, but a lot of Aussies and herding breeds obviously get excited about movement and they want to chase. Okay, we might have to take you out. So we want to see if she sits and looks at me or if she chases me a little or if she chases me a lot. If she chases me a lot and gets excited about chasing me, which she doesn't really appear to be doing, if she was chasing me a lot, that would be a concern if I had small kids in the home. Now, it's a behavior that can be trained away from, but it's just something else to think about, like how much training do you want to do with your puppy? So I would say I would probably score her medium on this because she's kind of tracking me, but she's not getting crazy, she's not running, she's not attacking my feet. She's just kind of like watching what I'm doing and tracking me a little bit. So if she had scored high on this and she was chasing me, grabbing my shoes, grabbing my pants, anything like that, that high reaction to movement combined with her high prey drive might not make her an ideal fit for a home with little kids or a home with cats or other small animals. But since her reaction to movement isn't high, then I still think she would be a good candidate for a home like that. Good girl. Now she's just watching me. But she wants to know where I'm at, I think, more than anything. Okay. Good girl. Are we splooting? You're a good girl. Yes, you're a good girl. So I like this about her. Some of these puppies I expect will actually chase me and probably grab my shoes or pants. So we'll see. They might surprise me, you never know. But she's not doing that. So I like that about her. Good girl. Good girl time. Okay, I think that's everything.